what I'm gonna do is I'm going to ask you guys and say, hey, let's see here. I don't want to promote the panelists on these things. What I want to do is, let's do this. I'm gonna allow you guys to talk. If you'd like to come on and talk a little about your note business and what you're focused on and the areas you're focused on, hit me up in the chat and I'll bring you on one time. If I bring on 25 people at a time, it's going to be a cluster. We don't want to do that. So I'll bring you guys on. Actually, if you, you know what? I can actually bring you guys on. Let me do this. If you'd like to come on, I can have a couple people on at the same time. So why don't we say we bring 3 or 4 people on? If you'd like to come on, let me know and I'll promote you to panelists. We'll bring you on video and audio and talk and have you on here for the entire time. Then once you're finished talking, I'll mute you unless you got a question. So. Anybody curious in jumping on here? John, Dan, Paul, Stephen, Sri, Patrick, Mike, Marianne, Keith. Wayne will come on. Okay, Wayne, cool. I'll bring you on. Wayne, are you there? I'm going to unmute you, Wayne. Wayne, I don't think you have a mic plugged in. It's not letting me unmute you. So you may have to unmute yourself. I'm going to bring some of you guys on, promote the panelists. Just going to do this. I'm going to force you guys to come on.
Hey, Scott.
Who is that?
This is Sri.
Hey, Sri. How's it going, man?
Good.
You have a webcam? You want to come on camera or no?
I don't have makeup on.
Okay. That's okay. Sri, tell us where you're at, where you're from.
I'm from Washington, D.C. Being a seconds investor, I did buy some first, but I don't have my business streamlined from buying NPN first perspective. I bought over 100 NPN seconds, being at it since 2014. As you know, seconds market has dried up. We've seen some products since COVID-19 hit. I was able to buy about 30 assets in last 3 months, but again, it's dried up now. So, that's where I am. So I try to buy non-performing seconds behind first. Obviously, that's dried up now. So my exit strategy is pretty much what you have, but I do end up, one of the questions that I had is, after foreclosure is done, when you have to originate the note again from a second position, because they're paying on the first, they don't believe that you can actually foreclose from the second. I don't want to go on a whole spiel. That was the reason I was asking that question. So thanks for that advice that, once they're not paying, especially if they are, you buy a first non-performing note, just kick them out. There's no point in working with them and setting up a seller financing note.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. It's not worth owner financing. I would just go because basically if they're paying on the first, you do in the foreclosure process, you're taking over that first lien subject to basically.
Right.
So I think it just makes sense to do that. Put a renter in there, while you're finishing the foreclosure on the first and sell it off.
Right.
I just think it's because if they didn't pay you the first time around, they're very likely not going to pay you the second time around. Right. I would, you want to try to help people, but that's the thing about seconds. You usually got to buy 4 or 5 because 2 are probably going to work out, and the other 2 you're probably going to sit on for a while. Am I correct,
right.
Sri?
Yeah. As you are well aware of, it depends on where the property is, right? I have a second on, I know you're going to hate me for this, but I have a second on a property on a high-rise building, $1.2 million condo in Chicago, right on Canal Street.
Okay.
I have a second where the UPB is 100,000. It was charged off, so I cannot charge off in 2017, so I can't charge any late fees or accrued interest after 2017. but they're current on the first. Even if I were to foreclose, I would still be able to rent and get the money, but it's in Cook County, so it takes forever. So
Ugh.
I'm stuck with it for 2 years now, so I'm still going through it.
Well, and that's the thing is, since you're not local to Cook County, I think
Yeah,
the judges really don't. They're more worried about local people, and I've seen them delay foreclosures 3, 4, 5, 6 times, even evictions
yeah.
when
And
you're
so,
an out-of-state investor. So it's a tough. But
yeah,
hey, the value keeps going up, and at some point you're going to get paid. They're going to ask for a clear title, and that's where you kind of
yeah.
at some point.
And surprisingly, other counties don't have that problem in Illinois. I don't understand why it's the same state, but
It's just Cook, man. It's Crook County, man. It's tough, man. Can
yeah.
I ask you a question on your seconds? Are they fully covered in equity, or are they over encumbered? Are they under?
So there are two things that I look at, right? First thing is obvious if there's equity, obviously they could be fully covered in equity. Basically, uh, CLTV is less than the fair market value of the property, then it is fully covered in equity. Sometimes it's even if it's partially covered equity, but they're owner occupied, and you pull TLO and you see that you get some more information, get some information on them, how long they've been living in the property, do they have kids going into the school based on their Facebook profile and stuff. I would still buy it, obviously at a lesser price.
Yep.
Um, if I don't go anything over 110 or 120 CLTV, I'm even not doing that right now because of the uh, CARES Act and stuff. I don't know what's going to happen going forward.
Right.
I'm not going over 90%. I'm actually valuing the property at 90% of what it is, and then looking at my fair market equity because it's going to hit the fan pretty soon.
Yeah.
Um,
We're going to probably at least see in some markets. You can see probably 10. I hope it's not 20% drop in value, but
yeah,
it's hard. It's hard to say. People are talking about the economy. I'm like, there's a lot of issues still with the banking issues if this thing keeps going like it is.
right.
There'll be
Right.
areas of the country that won't see a blip. It's like San Francisco, San Diego, LA proper are probably going to do fine. But there's a lot of other places that I think are you're going to see that drop. So I think you're smart that way of doing it. And then what kind of percentage of that are you trying to stick to, or less? 60, 65% of that, or less, or more? Or what are you seeing?
What do you mean 65%
So
of
if
what?
you're valuing the property at 90% of fair market value, and you don't want to be in a second that's more than 110% of fair market value, right?
So let me say that, right? So how I look at it is whether my fair market equity is at 50%. I'm talking a ratio, not dollar amount, right?
Okay.
Fair market equity formula is fair market value minus senior payoff.
Yep.
That is fair market equity, right? So I look at whether fair market equity is at least 50% or more. So if it is more than 50%, and then I'm good. I don't buy anything. Yeah. Normally, also, even if you were to value at 100% of today's value, I still wouldn't buy anything that has fair market equity lesser than 50 cents. I
That
would,
makes I
yeah,
get it.
but that's my thumb rule.
No, that makes sense. And so your first liens are well below value. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I mean, what happens is if I'm buying a pool of assets, like 20 assets, 30 assets, right? I look at the whole pool. I'm not expecting all 30 to be in that condition because you can't get all 30. I mean, I wish I could, but you can. So when I look at my combined fair market equity, am I still there or not?
All right.
And it's not just so if there's a high value property in there, right? So then what happens that might skew the numbers. So I just don't look at one asset and look at it like more than 60 to 70% of the assets need to meet that criteria, fair market equity more than 50%. Then I'm good. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Any particular 3 states you like investing in? They're your favorites?
I live in Virginia. Virginia is great. I have a debt collector license in Maryland. So I do buy in Maryland. I know it takes a little longer than Virginia. I have California notes. Until I actually foreclosed from a second property and tried to evict the borrower. I didn't know it took that long to evict the borrower in California.
What is it? How long is it? 12 months or is it less?
It takes anywhere from 6 to 12 months
Right.
to evict the borrower. And I wasn't expecting that because that didn't happen to me in other states.
Right.
The foreclosure is faster.
Yep.
To get the borrower out takes longer. I'm like, you don't, especially, I bought second notes in LA County, Alameda County, these properties are, 800,000, 900,000. I'm buying from second position. I'm kicking out the borrower, and they are, even if they're in the property, they're not paying the first because they know they're going to get kicked out. So I'm paying on the first. So that hurts.
Yeah, so that your second doesn't get wiped out for the most part. Yeah, it
exactly.
definitely does hurt.
Yep.
That's the thing. California, land of fruit and nuts, and with all the droughts, you just got a bunch of nuts over there anymore for the most part. But that's the thing is, if it's you've got both a judicial and non-judicial proceedings there in California, depending on when you're buying. So,
right.
Hopefully the value keeps going up for you, and it comes out okay at some point for you. So, what's the cost? What's the cost to get a Maryland debt collector's license? How expensive is that?
So the first year is a little more expensive. I got it in when it first came out, 2017 or 18, I guess. I think it was like, at that point of time, it cost me about 1,900, I would say. Don't quote me on this, I don't remember, but 1,900 or something. You have to get bond, and also you have to pay the state. So every year I'm paying $340 a month from the second year onwards. But the first year itself will cost you a little bit more.
Right.
It's more a painful thing because you can't really call anyone. If they call, you can't talk to a direct person who actually handles what documents they need. So it took me close to 7 months to get that approved. So you just follow up and follow up and follow up, and it's painful. But one good thing right now is anyone who don't want to deal with Maryland notes, they send it my way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Having that works in your favor.
Yeah.
To do that. Now, didn't maybe it was just Baltimore. It wasn't Maryland, but isn't it Baltimore that expedited the foreclosures of its vacant properties?
Yeah, it did. But I try to stay away from Baltimore. I was a landlord in Baltimore, got hurt really bad. So I don't want to.
You got to really know in Baltimore. I mean, I wouldn't mind down by the harbor. Was it Little Italy down that neck of the woods? That's gone through a gentrification area. It used to be rough 10 years ago.
Yep.
And it looks nicer now, but there's some rougher areas. Just like in every city. I mean, Chicago, other areas too. You got to DC. I think back at the art district now, how crap and horrible it was 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
And then the city went through with the dollar days. I know Baltimore was doing that recently too. Dollar days, buy a property for $1, and you had up to 3 years to do something with it before you got taxed on it back in DC in the day. And I had investors that bought 3-story brownstones, a whole block, and then demolished them and rebuilt them up into condos now that are really nice. So, and you had a really was about I don't know, a couple 100,000 homes that were in tax sale that were just rough areas, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, even now, every March you can buy the list for $10, and you have at least 20 to 30,000 properties. I mean, some people pay that games. Sometimes you don't even know if the property is standing there. Yeah. So just to drive by, it'll take months to look at so many properties.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Sri, thanks for being a part of this. We look forward to seeing you next weekend in Spielbud. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Wayne, I think you're available now, Mr. Wayne Brinstein. Yes, Wayne? You're unmuted. We'll get to Wayne in a second there. Dan Sherry, would you like to come on and talk? Yes or no, Dan? Tell us about what you're at in the chat roll. Promote some people over here. Sri, I'm going to put you back in as a attendee. Dan, you're still muted. Me unmute you, Dan. Gary, Jeff, Bruce. Bruce, you doesn't look like you have a microphone plugged into your system, so we'll change it back there. Marianne, Paul. See some of you guys are coming on as panelists. Hey, Wayne. There we go. Looks like Wayne's live now. Dan Sherry, looks like you're live now. Let's start first with Wayne. How's it going, Wayne? Wayne, you there? Dan Sherry, are you there, bud?
Yes, I am.
There he is. All right, we'll get with you, Dan. Where are you at, and what are you focused on, Dan?
All right. Let me, here we go.
There we go. Good stuff.
Yeah, you can see my man cave here.
There you go.
I'm relatively new to real estate investing. I am a small business owner, 62 years old. I raised a family as a small business owner, and it was in the awards business. We made etched crystals and plaques and trophies, and sold my business last fall. Didn't know there was a virus coming, and wanted to retire, and then decided that's not, I didn't want to do that. So I got involved in real estate investing, and I'm getting pretty excited about it. It's a lot of fun, even though I haven't done much. And I'm amazed at how many things that, I mean, it's like every time I turn around now, something new is coming on my plate, the next shiny object. So notes is the shiny object of the week.
Well, I'm like many people, the more shiny objects you can keep out and be a little bit more focused, the more success you'll have in the long run. I only say that from a voice of experience earlier on, where when I got in, I was like, oh, let me do this, let me do that, let me do that. Well, you know, the more you can be a little more focused, even if it's not notes, if you find something you really want to be focused on, just give it some time for things to fall in, you know what I mean? So, good stuff. Right. Any real estate experience whatsoever, or just kind of brand new to the whole everything?
The closest I came to real estate experience was when I graduated. When I got out of grad school, I wanted to be, I was in the corporate world for about 5 or 6 years in strategic planning, and but I always wanted to do something on my own. And my first venture was to start a magazine called for FSBOs, to put them on. It was called Owners Network, and it was going to be a magazine at your local grocery store. And I got the rights to put it on the market and everything else. And I recruited a half a dozen people to go out and sell ads. And I figured a magazine with nothing but ads, that could be pretty cool. So I recruited about 6 people, and I said, let's go. We're on our first publication is in November, and this was in September. And come November, I was the only one that sold anything. So we exploded on takeoff.
That'll happen. That will definitely happen. And where's home again for everybody? You're in California, right? Where?
I'm in Chicago.
Chicago. Okay. All right. Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. And well, we're glad to have you here, bud. All right. Looking forward to working with you some more. All right. Let's see here. Who else? Wayne Brinstein. Let's see if you got your mic plugged in yet. Gary, Jeff Kelly. I'm going to hit unmute for Jeff. Let's see if Jeff will come on there. Marianne, I'm going to hit unmute there. Some people. There we go. And then Dan, I'm going to put you back in as an attendee. Here we go. All right. Jeff Kelly, I think you're live. Can you say something, Jeff?
Hi there.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. How about you, everyone?
I can't complain at all. Where's home for you?
Outside Chicago.
There you go. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I'm up in Highland Park. So hi, Dan.
There you go. Tell us about what are you focused on? Real estate experience. What are you looking for?
Well, look, a little bit of real estate experience. Bought a foreclosure, fixed it up. I live in it, and it was a long time ago. My family has a bit of real estate investing in the past. Some offices. My brothers flipped houses, so we always got some ideas going on. I work as a teacher, but I also have a grad degree in finance and an MBA in finance. So doing that, working with the calculations of bonds, I mean, I did hundreds and hundreds of those by hand with a pencil, and got like almost a 4.0 and all that. I loved it. So always been interested in looking at notes that way, because that's all they are. They're not all they are, but that's what they are. They're lending agreements. So I'm pretty comfortable with with all of that. But my main focus right now, excuse me, I got a pretzel in my throat.
Okay.
Main focus right now is actually I work with a team of multifamily investors, and I do sourcing deals and underwriting for them. And we're in best and final right now on 200 plus units here in the Midwest. So I'm busy with that, but this is definitely something I always look at. And I know I can just bang out those numbers, and I'm trying to get a better sense of the strategy, you know.
A particular asset class you're looking at, or states that you like for the most part? I mean, you're looking for performing or for cash flow, or non-performing that you can turn into REOs or reperforming? What's kind of your, what do you think your focus will be?
Yeah, you know, I anticipate starting out with some performing and then getting a little non-performing to work them out a little bit, you know, after we get a little experience. Start small, do one, do another. You know, some of the investors I talk to for our multifamily work, I know they're interested in this. So I'm not sure if I'd call it quite an opportunity to branch out in that point. I mean, we've got an LLC set up for our acquisitions. So we could branch out and do something more finance and paper related. But, you know, this is all a part of an education. I mean, numbers are one thing, but the exit strategies, the vendors, you know, it's interesting when you were talking about the servicing company actually doing some of this work for you and having those conversations with the owners, also the attorneys. So did I get that correctly? Is that basically what you were saying?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's the book, Profit and Paper Profits or something? That old book. I read that. It goes, yes. Yeah. The Napier book. I loved it. So I read that quite a while back. But you know, so this is getting me started, ramping up. Maybe in about a year or so, I'll actually be doing it. That's what I anticipate. Well,
here's the thing that you might, I foresee it. Obviously, the market's in a bit of a limbo, trying to figure out where we're going to go. Obviously, who's going to get bailed out, who's not going to get bailed out. I mean, your mom and pa operators, your smaller lending aren't going to get bailed out. It's just, it's the fact of the matter. Your institutions are. I think a lot of the people that have been in the owner finance side aren't going to get bailed out just because it's just not going to happen, I don't think, for the most part. But I think a lot of opportunity lines, especially with what your focus is. You talked about multifamily stuff. Obviously, one of the most priciest asset classes for the last couple of years when it comes to real estate.
Yeah.
Looking back at what happened back in 8, 9, and 10, what we dealt with leading up to that, apartments were very hot and really priced at that point too. Well, the first asset classes that we got a lot of across our book was your mid-size, your 50 to 200 unit apartment complexes that have been overpriced, you know, overpaid. And with the idea that the owner operators of the management group was going to regentrify, bring the rents up. Well, when the markets dropped enough there, and then there was a capital call at 20-25% from the banks, most of those borrowers didn't have that, you know. And so that led to a lot of opportunities of buying the debt at some pretty decent discounts, or even taking over, bringing a little bit of money to the table to take over the loans as well too. So as apartment investors, my buddy Dan Hanford is part of the Multifamily Investor Nation. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yep.
He's done a great job with his virtual summit. He picked my brain. We helped him out with that quite a bit. And we were talking the other day about the fact, like, okay, I would be going back and looking at every deal that you looked back in the last 12 months that you didn't close on, that you maybe got outbid on, and start tracking that to see who were the lenders, if there was any commercial financing involved with that, or any mezzanine or apartment portfolio funding groups, and start tracking those guys in the next 60, 90 days of what they have on their books that they maybe looking to get rid of. So it may end up being some really phenomenal deals that you get a lot cheaper than you would trying to buy retail or go that route. So. Yeah,
you know, I mean, the marketing piece that you have, I'm a bit familiar with some of those steps that we've been implementing and had similar successful results that we're doing. And so I could see tracking to that. I have been tracking some properties. Just yesterday, I was tracking some, and boy, I mean, I'm hitting in this like mystery land where I haven't seen the conveyance data reported yet on some of these. Sometimes some of them are coming back to us where either they're brokers or direct owner contacts are calling us back now because the deal did not close or fell out of contract or went in and out of contract. So there's some shuffling going on. It's like someone sent the dog out and I don't know, when you're hunting and the dog flushes those birds out in the air, right? That's kind of what's starting to happen.
Yeah.
Well, and we definitely have. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, what, Jeff?
What did you say?
I just said we're going to see more of that getting fleshed out here relatively soon. Here, if you like Class A, I would look at every property that Grant Cardone bought in his multifamily fund and realize it's probably going to be deep discounted. You probably got to pick up the debt at a discount because he overpaid.
Yeah.
On every asset class, he paid through the nose on that stuff because he had cheap.
I'm a bit aware. I mean, hey, if I stumble on something, do you do JVs with people that just connect with you?
Yeah, we'll you know, we one of the things we've done in a variety, we'll sometimes be the neutral party to call and negotiate on the debt for buyers, and then for a piece of the deal, and then depending on what's going on, we can talk on an asset by asset, you know, deal by deal basis for that for the most part.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see you next week at the virtual workshop. We'll spend a big chunk of time on Monday going through how to track down commercial assets on
If I
Friday.
can carve that out, I'll be there.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Yep. Right. Dan Nicholson, you able to unmute yourself, bud? Try to unmute you. Mike Petterson, you interested in unmuting yourself coming on or not? Dan Nicholson, there you go.
Okay,
You
there we go. Are we unmuted now?
You're unmuted now, bud.
Okay, well, you caught me in Alaska.
Anchorage, I bet your home state, huh?
Well, it is. I'm still an Alaska resident. I retired out of the Air Force in 1989 up here. And back in those days, I was buying and selling tax deeds and things like that. I've got this house that I've owned for 36 years. Have another one here 200 miles south on the Kenai Peninsula. And I'm trying to get rid of this one because it has a mortgage. So I'm up here basically downsizing and liquidating this summer. I've got this house, I hope, pre-sold on an option to buy, purchase option from an investor in Missouri, sight unseen.
Oh, nice.
We'll see how that works, but it's a fixer-upper. I just want to pay off a mortgage and get out of it.
You go. Are you still spending time down in Florida too, or no?
Yeah, I've got a house in Florida with a wife down there, and she doesn't want to come up here, so she wants me down there. So I'm under the gun to get back down there. But but we're investing in a IRA LLC, and a few years back we bought a group 10 properties. They were REOs from a company in Florida that Equistream, maybe you've heard of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, their deal was that we would buy this block of houses. They would market and sell them, fill them up with people on contracts for deed, and then service the loans. And as it turned out, the guy that ran the company, the owner, died. Company went belly up. They didn't perform as they said they would. And so now we've got a bunch of houses. If anybody wants any fixer-uppers, we've got them in Indiana, Ohio, got one in Birmingham, another one down in Georgia. Anyway, so we're trying to get rid of them now. We just want out. We've got the people they put in were low quality. The notes we're having trouble keeping people current on the notes. And in fact, I'm in the process right now of restructuring, or actually rewriting a couple of notes and just starting all over with the rearages in a new note because they can't seem to get caught up.
So who's service? Are you self-servicing, or you have a servicing company that's handling that?
No, it's a servicing company. It's Kingdom Contract Servicing in Port New Richie,
Okay.
Florida. Yeah. So anyway, we're trying to get that mess cleaned up. We'd never do that again.
So are they, so on the 10 assets, are they all occupied or
No,
partially
no,
occupied?
the houses we're trying to sell are unoccupied,
Okay.
and the others we've got like four of them. One's performing, and the others we're all having trouble with. One of the houses, the guy that bought it moved about a year ago to Phoenix, and he's working there, and the house is in New York. And I've been on the phone with him this week. Uh, we're just gonna write a since he's got the house rented, I'm gonna make it into a commercial type of a loan, a new whole new note, whole new mortgage on that one,
Okay.
and try and put the collection of the rents into the contract too, where if you don't pay, I collect the rent.
Hmm.
But it'll be a contract for deed.
Okay.
So anyway, then we're also doing some private lending. We've lent some first, and I'm in the process of writing a second right now with another investor. And that's pretty much where we are right now. I'm not running it as a note business. I'm 81 years old and retired, and life gets in the way. We just recently switched houses in Florida, and I'm too busy up here to be even on the phone this or on the seminar this week. But here I am,
Well, you're a pretty regular attendee, Dan. I mean,
and
you
I
and I go
and
back.
and I
What?
plan to be here next weekend too. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I've known you. We've known each other. Wait, 8 years
Maybe, yeah.
at
I
least.
met you at Noteworthy when you gave a presentation, I think,
Yeah, it'd
there.
be at least 8 or 9 years for sure, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure. Have you on the properties you're trying to sell in that package? Have you posted those in the WC and Crew Facebook group by any
No,
chance?
I haven't. No. I've been doing some on Craigslist, just kind of local area.
Well,
But
if you,
yeah, maybe the WCN group would be a good place. I
I
hadn't
mean,
thought about that.
post it there. If not, email me the list of what you got. I'll take a look at. I mean, I've got connections pretty much everywhere, and if anything, I maybe refer you out to somebody who's local and help out with that, or identify a few people who can help you out with those assets. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome, man. You be safe, buddy. We'll see you next weekend. All right.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Thank you for the testimonial, by the way, on the workshop as well
Oh,
too.
well, you're number one. I've sat through note training. I've read. Oh, he was just mentioned.
Jimmy
What
Napier.
Jimmy Napier's stuff. He got me interested in it years ago. Um, Bob Leonetti, um, Donna
That's
Bauer,
that's how we know each other originally, was Bob Leonetti.
maybe so. Yeah.
Because Bob was the guy that taught me the note business, and I worked for him for 4 years in the mortgage and then also on the real estate side of things. So that's where we know each other from originally.
Okay. So
Good stuff.
yeah. So I hope once I get out of Alaska to be more active in notes.
No problem. Well, let's see if we can't help you. Like I said, if you have any spreadsheet or any notes on those properties, post them to WC and Crew, and then shoot me an email as well, and I'll take a look and see if I can help you out with that stuff. All right.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan. All right, we're gonna move Dan over to back to a attendee. All right. Anybody else? Mike Petterson? No? Yes? You know how to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Mike, how's it going today?
It's going well.
Where's
It's been a
home for you?
great, seminar today. I really enjoyed the webinar.
Thank you.
I'm a broker in Sacramento, California. I was turned on to this by an associate who was telling me that note investing is well, we won't say up and coming, but it's not a well-known. What would you call it? It's not very well known, and so that's why I'm tuning in. I do some investing, and I do work with investors, and I am seeing a lot of possibility of a lot of defaults coming onto the markets. I do some valuations for many different BPO companies, and there's a lot of activity that's going to be happening very soon. So I'm just investigating this, and you are very informative. Your experience at this and I will be tuning into other broadcasts. And I appreciate hearing what you've got to say.
No problem. How long have you been a broker up in Sacramento? How many years?
10 years.
Do you know of a guy by the name of Daryl Isaacs?
Daryl Isaac. I do not.
I don't know if he was a big broker up there. He like 2 years ago, he moved down to San Diego, but he ran a big real estate firm broker up there.
Okay.
I don't know if it was with Remax. I think it might have been with Remax or Keller Williams.
Okay.
But he still I think he still has a branch of that neck of the woods, Daryl Isaacs. So might be a connection to reach out to. Daryl's probably bought, I don't know, 50 notes for his portfolio, student of ours as well. So
Right. Okay. Well, from hearing the conversations, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of activity, but I would say within the next year, it's all going to change.
Well, there's still quite a bit of activity. People aren't. Well, you see we have a lot of banks are kind of like in limbo. They're doing the preemptive things like figuring out values, keeping track, and doing the due diligence. Because a lot of times when banks, we'll cover more of this next week, but when banks have defaults, they can't initially sell off. They've got to build up the reserves in cash before they offset it with note stuff. So you see, especially if you're tracking the FDIC reports and other things like that, you'll start to see banks have already started to put away their reserves a little bit so they can offset some of the losses they're going to take and sell them the debts at a discount. And so, yeah, they're waiting to see what the government's going to do. They're doing a lot of, okay, let's do some due diligence so that when we do have a solution or strategy, we can react on things. I would be interested to know on the BPOs, the valuation that you're pulling for banks, are they all the bigger firms? Or are you seeing some like mid-sized institutions besides the Bank of America, the Chases, the Cities as the underlying debt on those properties up in your neck of the woods?
For the most part, they don't really disclose to me who the lender is, or the requester even of the order. But I am seeing quite a few that do have second mortgages, and it's telling me that probably the borrowers are starting to default on their second, and that's what's originating the valuation on the property.
Yeah, I would not. I don't doubt that or anybody that's probably filed a forbearance agreement for a period of time to figure things out. Are you able to, with your MLS, if you pull up properties, are you able to? Usually, a lot of MLSs will have a realist report or a button on getting a realist aspect that will pull up the existing current lender, either first or second lien holders on that. Does your MLS allow that or not? Do you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I can get it through records. Oh no, I can't get it through records. No, I don't believe the MLS will disclose that either.
Okay. Well, they do that in other states. You got to love California. But yeah, I would. It would be worth if you had a list of those to track those to see if you can't go to the title. Because usually, if you go to the county records or the county recorder's office, they may allow you to pull that up and see the current lender is, and that'd be a hot button for you to reach out to as an REO agent or potential deals that are coming across the market. So
yeah. Well, this has been great, Scott. I thank you for the opportunity to tune in to you, and I'll be checking in with you in the future. I also signed up for your website. I forget what the name of it is right now, so I'll be following you.
Sounds good, Mike. I appreciate it so much. Be safe. Need anything, give us a holler. Okay. And if you want to, Mike, drop me an email at scott@weclosenotes.com. I will be glad to make an email introduction to Daryl for you too. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I'm moving back to attendee. All right, guys. Who else would like to come on there? If you want to give me a chat roll there. I know some people are like, I can't. But mention the chat, raise your hand or whatever we can. We'll get you on here to talk a little bit before we wrap it up for the day here for you all. One of the things, guys, too, if you're looking for it, let me, I'm going to post in the chat roll here. You can actually get signed up for a virtual workshop by going to GBP/notebuyingfordummies.com. That'll take you there to the checkout, take you straight to the thing. Love to have you guys. You're also more welcome to bring a spouse, business partner. Sign up that's not on an individual basis. If you have two people or even your spouse or kid, that link will be good. You know, you can sign up for a business partner, stuff like that. If you want to, got somebody that want to split the cost, that's fine. I don't care whoever pays for the $5.99 that it gets taken care of on the account there for you. But Guys, would love to have you to Note Buying for Dummies next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Got a great lineup. We're tweaking some things up than what we did in December. We were going to teach the class originally a few weeks ago, and luckily I think we extended a little bit. I was out sick, and then Zoom was acting up on Sunday, so it worked out better. I've got some newer stuff to put in place for you. So I'm really looking forward to teaching this and recording it, and as it being a new replay that we're providing everybody out there for you. So last chance, guys and gals, for you guys to get involved on that. And like I said, if you're curious more about the splitting that up and being a part of the membership, you can go to WCNmembership.com as well. And that's the $97 a month program for you to be a part of everything we've got going on. So, all right, if that is not, nobody else wants to jump on there, guys, I'm going to let you guys go for this Sunday. Sri, I'm looking for info on how to find IRA investors. Here's, we do a big chunk of that next week. We'll definitely focus on that on the Saturday aspect of the virtual workshop. So it is. We spend a big chunk of time. We talked about a little bit today. We're going to spend an even bigger chunk of time next week on that. I think you're going to really love that. So yes, we cover a big chunk of that next week. So looking forward to that, guys and gals. Thank you so much. Thanks for the guys that jumped on there, that were willing to come on to share a little bit about their business and stuff like that. Always encourage you guys to reach out. As always, if you want to schedule a phone call, you can. You just go to talkwithscottcarson.com. That's talkwithscottcarson.com and schedule a 30-minute phone call. I'd love to visit with you. And otherwise, guys, have a great, good one day. Like the agenda outline. I know you guys like that. Made it a little bit easier for you. I'll have an agenda out a little bit more so in the virtual workshop here as we get closer and people are finalizing timeframes. Otherwise, have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday or Sunday afternoon if you're watching some of the replays. And hopefully we'll see you next week at the virtual Note Buying workshop. Otherwise, be safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you all at the top, everybody.